but he turned himself in. So like, you my husband, I was gonna try it, but yeah. Uh, I
It's
don't know,
it's it's it's, it's too much pussy out here in the world for motherfuckers to be raping females, man.
but that's the thing. People gotta remember, rape is not about. Hey, Ray, you gotta warn us before you go live, man.
I've been doing this when we I do this all the time.
Usually, we get a warning.
I kind of like it when he does it because we be having some real interesting shit, and he just goes in.
Yeah, but
I'm about to say I've been doing it before we've been like doing this over the hangout.
see, when we do it in person over the mic, I know you can edit some of that stuff out, but the live thing just throws me off because I could say something I ain't want nobody to
Oh,
hear.
you ain't seen the first couple episodes? I didn't edit it out.
No, but my thing is, I could be saying something I ain't want nobody to know about me. Well, I wouldn't care that y'all know, but not the whole entire internet.
Like fuck.
I mean, you can see the live, so
Yeah, I wasn't looking at first, and I decided to look up because I was like, Ray like to go live while warning us.
at least you know. And we are live. Welcome everybody to You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always is Father.
Peace and blessings.
And we have First Black Ginger.
I be the guy with the freckles, 31.
And, and we got my man Tony.
What's going on? What's going on? Skirt.
All right. All right. Very interesting week we had today. I guess we're gonna start with Aisha Curry. And Tony, you don't know what's going on, right?
Nope.
All right, so basically, if anybody's done seen Red Table Talk with Jay Picker Smith, they had the Curry, the Curry women on there, and
It was
uh,
Steph Curry's
Aisha,
mother.
Aisha was talking about some of the things that she go through with her and Steph, and what basically Tony, what got people buzzing is this quote right here. Sometimes it really bothers me, and honestly, it gives me a sense of little bit of insecurity. It is the fact that yeah, there are all these women like throwing themselves at Steph, but me in the past 10 years, I don't have any of that. Like she says, I have zero. This sounds weird, but like male attention. So then when I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is there something wrong with me?
I think I don't
Um,
know that quote you got right now, but I think it missed the part where she said that after she mentioned after 3 kids, I think she mentioned
I'm just reading what the quote says.
no, that's
I'm
what I'm
pretty
saying.
sure she does.
That quote because I listened to it. And that's the thing that's going around. A lot of people been just looking at the article. Some people said they read it. I mean, they listened to it. I mean, I heard a snippet. I still need to watch the whole thing, but for me, one, I think she was asked a question, and two, even what bothers me, everybody's getting on her, but even Jada Pinkett Smith said she had problems with that at one point. And as far as I remember, growing up, Jada Pinkett Smith has always been fine. She actually looked better than she ever did now, and she looks the same.
I was about to say she looked the same, but I wasn't. She's a beautiful woman, but I feel like she looks the same. But I was gonna say, which one of y'all want to start? How y'all feel about the situation that's been going around like social media and about this comment?
Uh, I want to start with I don't know how what people are hearing they interpret it. I'm getting tired of them. I know it's two things. I'm gonna let father handle the pick me side, but the guys they're saying this is something. This is all Steph fault. She putting some reason they think it's Steph fault, and I don't get how they got that. Like Steph not doing his. They interpreted it. Oh, Steph not doing his job, which I really think is not the case. Um, I don't know how you get that from what she said. Oh, that means Steph not doing his job. He should be the only attempt. And it goes to my theory that we're not always meant to be monogamous, but that's the type of lifestyle that we all grew up in. I just don't get how dudes can get that. And I'm tired of dudes always. Oh, but if Steph would have said that, it'd have been a bunch of, and it probably would have been. But I don't know why dudes always jump to. Oh, but if a guy say this, it'd be World War III. That is extremely annoying to think they always have to. I know we want to call out double standards, but to use a double standard is, I don't know. I think it's a weak argument for the most part. And I think anybody goes through it. When your body goes through changes, you're gonna start feeling a little way about yourself. Cause people like I got a receipt in the headline. Sometimes that shit is creates a small insecurity for me. A lot of black dudes just start wearing hats because they're trying to hat fish out here. So to say, and I'm sure something she got to fight down deep down. And she said it doesn't happen a lot, but I can understand it. That was like me dating Rihanna at one point. Then I get fat or something, and Rihanna still looking the way she does. I'm like, can I still get somebody else out here too? And I was dudes remember we think different than women. We think if I already, some dudes think if I already got it, I don't need nowhere else. But you don't, and I think that's why polys become a more popular relationship style because everybody's not gonna get what you want or need all the time. Father, you want to handle the pick me side?
The pick me side.
The because I'm the people calling her a pick me
Oh,
and,
so
and
I.
what? Yeah.
So the definition of a pick me is a woman that does shit simply and purposely for male attention. What she said had nothing to do with males at all. It had to do with her relationship with her husband and how she feels in her relationship. So when she's discussing something so vulnerable, for 75% of the comments that I've seen miss the entire point of what the fuck she said. And
Mhm.
it just baffles my mind how it can be said as clear as day. Jada Pinkett literally co-signs what she said because she's experienced it before, and motherfucker still missed the point. So it's like at that point, it's not just y'all not saying shit because of what she said. Y'all saying shit because she's Aisha Curry at this point. Because even when she said what she said about her being a housewife and only doing certain shit for her man, ooh, fucking Shea Butter Twitter ran with that and just blew up everything that and just over exaggerated everything. And then I'm like, well, instead of overreacting over opinion you don't agree with, why don't you sit the fuck down, calm the fuck down, and actually listen what is being said to you? Because I'm pretty sure she wasn't trying to come for everybody. But even if she was, like, it wasn't to demean anybody. So I'm just watching people react to what she's saying, and people purposefully missing the point of what the hell she's saying, calling her a pick me and all this. And I'm like, you know what? You're kind of showing your true colors too. You may be more insecure than she is because she's speaking about something a lot of women experience. As a matter of fact, let me take it a step further. That is one of the main reasons why men who marry early cheat because they feel like, oh, I'm cuffed forever, and let me see if I still got it. As soon as he start getting some attention a little bit from a lady or whatever, then he end up smashing her. Like we know of examples of dudes who smash girls that are way uglier than their girlfriends or their wives. I'm sure, like we know a few people who've done that shit, and it's like
I know a
when we
couple
look,
of people in the Navy that did that.
yeah, exactly. And if we look at it, we're like, as fine as your girl is, how the fuck could you fucking fuck that tree stump? Like, what the hell wrong with you?
It's a
So it's like, then it's not just about looks. There's something deeper than that. You feeling what I'm saying? Because for you to smash something that's undesirable, yeah, something's up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just smash just to smash. So when it comes to that insecurity, I just feel like there's a lot of people there's a lot of people that's not being honest with themselves. And they're
Yeah.
trying to take that out on Aisha Curry because she had the courage to actually speak the fuck up about it. And there was also people trying to say, why would you bring that out? That this your marriage. You should keep that shit in private. What if Steph hears this? What if Steph hears this? If Steph is the husband that we know that he is, he's gonna support her regardless of whatever she got to say because it's her experience. How she feels about her body and how she internalizes what she feels, it kind of has nothing to do with Steph. All Steph can do is just be that husband and ensure that even if she's not getting that male attention that shows her that she still got it, that she still has something to look forward to, which she knows. She even says it. It's weird that I think this, but and then she continued. So she acknowledged that this was a weird ass thought.
But
But
I
yeah, but at the same time, there's a whole bunch of people that think the same shit. You're not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I'm not worried about whether I still got it or not." 9 times out of 10, you probably are. You're
you
just
know,
so.
as she
Hey,
said that. Go ahead, Father.
no, I'm done. That's all I had to
As
say.
she said that Jada Pinkett Smith, and I can't remember, but somebody else said it. They all said it kind of in unison. Yo, you got it. You're just not looking for it. If you were looking for it, you would see it. Then also, Jada said out of her own mouth, I went through that as well, but nobody calling out Jada on it. And like you said, it's just because she's a celebrity. And I think one of the other problems I was talking with a best friend of mine is one we got to remember she's married to a celebrity superstar athlete who, a three-time NBA champion, unanimous MVP. That means number one, not one person simply voted not to be MVP that year. And it's a different level when you got money. People think it's easy. There's people like you got this good man who got money, probably give you anything you want. And she never said that he wasn't doing his job. She never once said that, but people interpreted that she said that, and I just don't get how.
Listening comprehension is a dying art. That's how.
Listening, reading, oh, there's a.
it hurts just to even try to wrap your mind around
I'm
it.
like, wait, she didn't say that. She didn't say, oh, Stephen that didn't. And his mama and his sister was there. I don't know.
I as like y'all, I agree with y'all. I feel like this was taken out of proportion, but it was the thing was I did find it interesting how everybody like kind of like interpret it in their own ways, especially some of the men because some of the men when some of them heard this, they was like, especially like um the MGTOW people and all that stuff, they was like, damn, you could do whatever you want, you still can't make a woman happy and all that other stuff. You had those people, and you had a lot of. It's funny, a lot of women was calling them pick me. It wasn't even like the men calling her the pick me's. The women was calling her the pick me.
It's usually women I see call each other pygmies. I barely see
Yeah,
a dude. I rarely see dude call a woman a pygmy. Now, on my own experience, I have feel like there's been women there where I'm like, that I feel like doing way too much for me in a way. I want to say pick me. I just like just I think it's more me than them. Just like I don't need you doing all this, or I need you to have a little backbone. Stand up to me. You don't gotta, if that makes sense. But I've
I just
been
don't think in this day and era, people. She's very supportive of her husband. Obviously, if you've seen her at the games, she's always rooting for him. When she felt like shit was fucked up, she was like, I think the refs are like calling it the games against Steph Curry and all that stuff. So she's always like supportive of men. I don't think people are used to someone being so supportive of their man, but that's she's playing the wife role, being supportive of a man while he's doing his work. So I don't in this era of independency, I think it's kind of foreign to most women seeing that a wife being a wife.
and
And
also go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, also I think it's some of her old Twitter comments, and I don't think those comments were pick me comments. They just It just the woman took him as the one time when she was like, I just rather keep myself reserved for the one that matters or whatever. I don't think she
Yeah,
was bashing other women for it. She just said it. It's like it's one of those. It's oh, this music is not for me. But people. One thing I hate about this day and age, there's no more in between. There's no more. Everybody classify things as fire or trash. You can't even say, "Oh, it's in the middle. It's not for me."
You're either with us or against us.
Yeah, that's all people see. There's no neutral on certain. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's certain things you can be neutral on. Like Black Lives Matter, you can't be neutral on it, in my opinion. But when it comes to entertainment or something, or just certain things, there's a neutral to it. There's certain neutrals to things like you might like this type of car. I don't, but it's just the car not for me. But it's just everything. So nowadays, you either hate it or you love it, and I hate that.
and also my thing about the pick me thing, you can't because I see a lot of people do call it pick me. You can't be a pick me if you're already picked. Let's just get this out the way. She's married, so she can't be a pick me if she's already picked. And obviously, it worked for her. What she did obviously worked for her. And I would say this: I don't want to see she oblivious, but she should know that people do like fawn over her. I don't think they'll. It's not to the status of a Beyonce or even a Megan Thee Stallion or like one of those Instagram models and all that other stuff.
Mhm.
But people do fawn over her. Like I
Yeah,
remember there's memes of like her and Amber Rose. It's just like um it's like the girl you married and like the girl you fucked is always like a meme, or it's like your good girls and your ratchet girls. It's like Aisha Curry's like the epitome of that good girl, and like you get Instagram and they're like the ratchet thoughts and all that other stuff.
yeah. I
So
think that's the problem too. Men are using her. I think that's why some women are calling her a pick me too, because they're the those set of men with their misogynist way using her as an example. And I think that's another reason why they're classifying her as a pick me. But people, yeah, you're right. Somebody did that. Somebody did that today or yesterday, and the person he chose, he did her. He was like, "I take classy and boring any day." But then he had a picture of Megan Thee Stallion, and I was like, "You don't listen to Megan Thee Stallion, do you? You don't look at interviews or anything. If you knew anything about that girl, like I seen a picture of her at her college, dressed classy. So I'm confused on why you don't think she's classy, because you can't separate her entertainment self from her real self because you're not paying attention. Because even the
people
clip,
only know a rapper's from it.
I know.
You gotta understand. People only know a rapper's from it. They don't know that she went to college.
I think she went back. I
Like
don't
you gotta
think
be a real real fan of hers, or like
no, that's
really
what I'm
really
saying.
into
That's
her
what I'm
she's in
saying.
college.
He just assumed because and when I look at Megan Thee Stallion, she most of the time I see her with crop tops on most of the time. She's not bad as somebody like Amber Rose, who then you can find a G string picture of, or most of the part I've seen. Most of the times I've seen most of her videos. I think what except for even Big Old Freak, she don't even look that bad compared to some of these other chicks out here. Like she don't look bad as what's her name, Lorraine, Cocaine Lorraine. The girl doing Cocaine Lorraine did a sprint in a thong one time. She got a video of her doing push-ups. Not saying Cocaine Lorraine ain't smart enough, but I don't see Megan Thee Stallion doing nothing like that. So I'm like, he could have used a better example. He could have used one of the idiot girls from City Girls. I mean, I like the City Girls, but they say one of them said some dumb shit out of her mouth.
Get flued out.
If not even that, she was on live one time. I think Instagram Live saying she don't drink water. She don't drink water, or she do drink like those Bohart's Farm smoothies, and yeah, she don't drink water. And she also said something in there like I use the same rag I use on my pussy or something. To
Oh
wash
no.
my face.
Oh really?
I'm not broken out. And I was like, that's a cute dumbass girl. God damn it. Young Miami, I think it was.
Look, anytime she's talk about like she like thugs and before you talk to her, it's like you got money. It's like don't pay attention to none of them. Hey Tony, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Uh, so you've been following so far, right?
Yeah, I'm still at work. I didn't even respond to the Curry jump, and I know I just jumped in right now.
I was about to ask what you think so far
Oh, with the
from
Curry
what you know.
jump,
Yeah,
man,
from what you know.
as far as from the Curry thing, I kind of understand because I've been married for 10 years, right? You got to think about it like this: like, let's say like if I start working out and my wife don't work out, and I'm always getting attention, and girls is always looking at me, but nobody looking at my wife. It's not more of like you want to cheat. It's kind of like when you marry, you kind of it's kind of happy when somebody notice you or look at you, but you don't do anything. Same thing with me. Like if a female look at me or say, "Hey, you cute," or "You look handsome," it brightens up my day type shit. But if my wife was getting it all the time, I wouldn't be getting it. I will be feeling kind of down about that. Um, so like when you marry, man, you deal with other situations and stuff like that when you marry. As far as attention and all that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if one's getting it more than the other. So I kind of feel what she's saying. Like, I want attention from men because, I mean, every time you're on a basketball court, you always have them big titty bitches jumping up and sipping on drinks real slow in front of the nigga and shit, but
About that Ronnie Rose picture.
yeah, yeah. But you got it's just it gets to you a lot. You know what I'm saying? Especially, let me tell you, especially it gets to you a lot, especially when she's at home and her husband is like the center of attention of everything. You don't get none of that attention. It goes with anything. It's like almost like if you work and they don't work, or like I said, if I work out and females always approaching me and they never approach my. I mean, nobody never give no type of attention to a wife. No, you kind of think about that shit in the long run. So I kind of understand what you're talking about, though. That's kind of my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? All far as the Curry thing, though.
Yeah. Some people, I just know some dudes saying she shouldn't have said it publicly, but I can tell they just read articles because she was asked a question and she kind of just went in depth when she replied to that question.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
certain stuff like that. It builds up. It just don't happen overnight. It builds up. Sometimes when it builds up like that, you said it at the wrong time, and she probably didn't want to say it, like that. But it probably was in her head so much that it just slipped out. She probably regrets saying that shit. But
No,
certain
I say what I said.
but certain stuff like that, you say with your friends or some shit like that. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
she was
Out of
with.
respect of the merch.
That's what me and my best friend said. She was with people, her friend. She was with Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett and her family, her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law. People she probably talked to on a regular because they all of them are married. Stepfather's an NBA legend or NBA, former NBA player. Is there a
Yeah.
legend?
Yeah, but it's like, what did they sit at the red talk table on Facebook, or was just like, hey, we
Red
chilling at the
Talk,
house?
it was the Red Talk table.
Oh, see, but that's certain things though. You can't. They set this whole platform like y'all be talking personal, but certain things you wouldn't say out in public. You don't put everything out on public, especially when it comes to a live feed or other people around. Like if like me and Jameson, right though, like if I say stuff about me and Jameson, no, I know I could talk to him. I knew him for years, so it's like we could have a conversation right here on this podcast that like we could say, but I know and he know I can't say certain things. It'll be disrespectful to say certain things that me and only him can know about because it's like personal shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of feel like how she was is that she probably had that shit lingering in her head so much that she wound up saying it.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's exactly what that's my mother. That's exactly what she said. She said that's the type of stuff you don't really say out in public like that.
No, you don't, because sometimes you say stuff out in public because you're thinking about it in your head so much you don't know if you're wrong or right.
But
Right.
also,
But
I
when
think
you say
certain
it, but when
environment,
you yeah, but when you say it, it's like, oh my gosh, he said that. He really meant that shit. Nah, sometimes you say stuff out your mouth because you kind of letting stuff out of your mind. You kind of freestyle it. You letting it kind of go to get your opinion. Like if I talk to y'all and we all together, we not on this podcast, I was like, yo, man, this girl approached me, I'm married, and she brushed her ass up against me and she trying to fuck. I would say stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that shit on a broadcast, so everybody else can hear that shit. My wife be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Well, she did what? You ain't do nothing. That's the type
but
of conversation that
I,
you'll have with your individual clique.
but I think people forget what the red table talk is for. It's just not regular interviews. It's for people to be vulnerable, and it's supposed to be the woman perspective of things. As Jada started, to give women more of an outlet. But the talk is so good that it's drawing everybody, male and female.
Yeah, but it's still the limit because, like I said, like you don't when you hit the red talk table, like I said, like you don't. There's certain things you don't talk about because once it's out, it's out. That's not the time to talk now.
I'm
I
a
believe I believe a lot of real talk shows they talk to certain things to a certain limit because I don't believe every person put all their personal business out there on TV. You know what I'm saying? I feel some of the stuff is kind of fake or it's staged or like, yo, these are talk points we're gonna talk about. Blah blah blah. Don't talk about this. We'll talk about that. That's what I kind of feel like. That's how it is. And I think she was just cornered or she had that shit in her mind so much that it just came out accidentally.
I'm a respectfully disagree with you for two reasons. Number one, if you want to share the decision to share personal shit, sometimes it's not just for like, oh, I need to get this out because it's eating away at me. It can also serve as a lesson to other people. That's why it's being broadcasted in the first place. Jada Pinkett could have taken Aisha Curry and just talk to her like behind the scenes, away from everybody, and have those private conversations. I'm pretty sure like that are celebrities, especially that have like very private, that have very public lives. They talk all day privately, and that shit can get leaked. So it's like, but have that shit like broadcasted for other people to listen to it. That's
Yeah,
like a lesson for other people, just in case they're dealing with the same shit, and it helps people out.
yeah, but
Jada Pinkett, like a lot of times in that show, she talks about some very, very, very personal shit that
yeah,
like me and Will were on the verge of divorce, like shit that you never think she's been through. But because of
yeah.
that show, it empowers people to have these conversations so they can be more aware about it and
See,
actually come up with
but see, the
things.
thing about it is you got a difference between advocates and people that are not advocates. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're going through a situation doesn't mean you should tell everybody. Everybody's not like that because you got to realize that everybody take things different. Like the Red Talk table made Jada Pinkett may be like that, but I guarantee she probably got some stuff that she just not gonna come on TV and say because you got to realize that when you marry, you need to realize like this: you have this thing right here. You have you being married, you have your family, you have your friends, and you have your associates. All of them have certain levels that y'all have y'all talking points, or y'all got to keep to yourself as a secret, or something that's off point. You know what I'm saying? Like if me and my wife, we could talk about a whole rack of stuff, but we know between me and her, we got our stuff that we can have. There's no spice. There's no secret between. There's no names for our secret. There's no type of talk that we can have with each other that we know offhand that we know about as far as being married. If not, we could just be married with everybody else that we talking to. So like the advocates that like her being an advocate, she may do that stuff, but everybody's not like that.
But
You
you
gotta
also
think about it like Jada Pinkett bit her whole personality be on TV. She
Yeah,
brought up, she
yeah, she
all
very
her life
open
been
with
on
her
TV.
stuff.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
real
Pink
open
is
with it.
very open with her stuff. That's
Yeah, but
almost
who
abnormally.
who says Curry? Who says Curry is open with that? You know what I'm saying? She don't be on on Desperate House. I mean, she'll be on Basketball Wives and no stupid shit like that. She could say that thing. She could be at home. It could be hurting her. Jada Pinkett got the money. She got the time. She got the experience, and she been doing it for years. So it probably wouldn't phase her. Everybody's different, but it's like just because one person do it doesn't mean everybody got to do it. If
But
let me say it like they got like this. Let's say this is my last point. It's saying it like this: like if a person get raped, a person may want to tell their story. Every rape person don't want to tell their story. Nobody want to be an advocate and bring all that stuff out. But you have certain people that do that, but everybody's not like that.
but you gotta remember these are not on an average. If they were average people, I can understand and get that, but they're not average people. She's the wife of a celebrity. Jada Pinkett is a celebrity and a wife at the same time. So there's gonna be stuff about them regardless, and sometimes they're gonna have to come and clear it up. Remember, there was rumors that Will and Jay were swingers, that they cheated. None of that was true. Uh, so sometimes, if you they're gonna be talked about regardless, even if something happened or not. It might be giving people, but at the end of the day, I know next week nobody's gonna be talking about it anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
but you gotta think about it like this: like you know, people
if they were,
become famous. When people become famous, there's no school or no type of training for that. It just happens. Just
Mhm.
because you're famous doesn't mean that you should be an advocate or something. Because it doesn't say that
the
if you
show,
become famous that you got entitled to do certain things a certain way. You're not trained
it
to. It
becomes
happens sometimes. Stuff like that happens overnight, or it happens at a certain time. You
when you
can't handle that.
when you become famous, you become hold at a higher standard. People forget that you're human, and
Yeah,
the rest
and people think that when you
of
rich and
humble.
you famous, you supposed to change your personality, but a lot of times you still be doing the same stuff you already be doing.
You ain't supposed to change your personality unless you're doing dumb shit. I mean, they can jeopardize you to lose it all. I mean, Kodak Black,
Yeah, I think he's doing that shit for attention.
but
But yeah,
the
because
problem,
her
problem
she
is that
always been like the wifey type. She never been in the media like that. As far as what I see, she don't be like everybody else like that.
I mean, she has her own cooking show at one point.
Yeah, but that's like a business. I ain't talking about personal stuff. I mean, that's just open up business and making shit. But dealing with personal stuff, you gotta think about it like that. All five of us right now will become rich. One of us gonna fuck up. One of us gonna fuck up. And anything like this is like because we wasn't given the tools or the experience at that point to know how to handle this shit.
I don't think one of us fuck up. Talking to everybody here, I don't think nobody dumb enough to fuck up.
Pressure. Hey, let me tell you, pressure. Let me tell you, money is evil as fuck. Pressure.
Everybody over
Pressure and
here,
money is evil.
yeah, maybe if we were under 20,
Nah, it still happen, man. You got to think about it. Like you also think about this. You got to think about all the people that won the lottery. Hear their stories on on TV. Something they got all the people that won the lottery, and only a few people was really successful.
that's because
I was about to
people,
say, Bill has been famous for almost 20 years. That nigga still fuck up.
Yeah, yeah, because people don't know how to handle that stuff. You do think that. You also think about it like
that's
right
the
now.
thing that financial. The problem with some of the with average people, and when they get up and get money like that, the problem is financial illiteracy,
Money management.
money management. Yeah,
But you gotta
financial
think
illiteracy.
about it like this: is that if you can't have, if you gotta think about the same thing with being famous, right? If you have no money management skills with the money you have now, what the fuck you think you gonna do with like $3 million?
By a trampoline.
I know you. It's not gonna change. Same thing with stardom. If you don't know how to handle that, just because you famous doesn't mean you don't act a certain way or you feel like you gotta be now. In time, you may deal with certain things. You deal with it's a different level. It's a different life as a superstar. It's a different life as a
It
superstar.
is.
Anything you do is already judged. Shit, you can go to the movie. You can't go to the movie theaters. You can't do certain shit. I mean, before you, when you're not a star, you could do basic shit. You can't do basic shit like you can. A lot of people can't handle that shit.
That's because a lot of people don't respect it. That's the first
Yeah,
problem.
but you got
Mm.
you as far as respect, you also have to think about it like a lot of people not won't be able to use to handle that shit, man. Like I say, like money is like rural root, especially like you have relatives that pop out of sky blue and try to say stuff, or people try to be your friends. You don't know who's your friend or not when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? Being famous is not easy, and it's a different world. Like when Lil Wayne, who said that? He said he seen Uncle Phil at this little gay hotel sniffing lines and shit. I think that was like Lil Wayne or something like that, Wale or something. Saying it's a different world. It's their own world when they rich. A lot of people can't handle that shit.
What happened?
All right, Clarence, you've been quiet this whole time. What's your opinion on it? The whole Aisha Curry thing.
I mean, I don't really think it's that big of a deal, really. But I do feel like, probably I kind of agree with your boy. It kind of is not something to really probably share out in public like that because that kind of embarrasses her husband a little bit. But
Man,
all in all, I don't think it is that big of a deal, really. Because I mean,
I actually think it really doesn't have anything to do with Steph at all.
hmm
yeah, but you say certain things out in public, and yeah, that is like embarrassing. Right? There's certain things you just don't really say. But either way, it ain't that big of a deal because it's not like she said she was trying to hop on cocks or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
she
She just
just
said
said
that she
that.
want. She just said
She
that
just
she
wants to
wanted.
know that she just got it. That she still got it.
Yeah,
That's all.
she just wanted attention.
that's the other problem. People took attention as meaning she want everything to come with attention. No, just the people like she wanted to cheat, or if I think things. If you agree with Aisha, you're a cheater. He never said she
But
wanted to step out on her husband.
He's running late.
but yeah, and still she homely, so I don't see she very homely dressing and all that stuff. So I don't see how she gonna get a lot of attention from men because we very
I
visual
think
and
she's
she be
still
dressed in.
She's a light skinned black woman. Of course, you're gonna get attention.
But in like the celebrity world though, she
She
not as
gets attention.
flashy.
I guarantee you, she gets attention.
I remember the first time I was watching. I'm not big on basketball, but I think the first I was starting to watch Golden State Warrior games because of Steph Curry and the impossible threes that he was making. And I tuned in,
Steph Curry probably was getting attention.
and I tuned into in a Warriors game. She's in the crowd with his mama and his wife. I mean, his mama and wife in the crowd. I see them too. I was like, damn, them some fine women. And I don't remember I don't get this. Dude, chicks don't always have to be having niggas for dudes to give them attention. I know girls that shoot. There's girls that been at old school, or I've been in a Marine Corps with chicks in uniform and they look bad. And not a lot of chicks look good in uniform. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
shit. I know sometimes on the deployment, them coveralls. You start looking at them coveralls, like damn, you got a little shape in them. All that other stuff.
if she look good,
Uh,
if she look good in camis, you better watch her when she got in the uniform outside of them.
and a couple of them women, they get them camis and they like get stuff that goes to their shape, or sometimes they take the top off with nothing but the t-shirt, and then that should be tight as hell and all that other stuff. I know a couple of the women tricks. Anyway, I guess the moral of the story is uh people like to read people like to reach like Dawson and Aisha. If you ever like come onto this, people notice you don't, but you don't want all that attention because niggas will get really disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I also want to say this, Cardi, because I think Cardi had a point, and I also wanted to talk about this. Cardi had a point because she was talking about it, and she was like, her opinion was she don't get enough attention because of who Steph is, and like niggas ain't gonna try to step to her because they already know that she's married and 3 kids. Now, granted, there's niggas that probably wouldn't give a fuck about that and holler at it anyway. But like, I see this with like Beyonce, someone like a Beyonce too, because Beyonce's like married and people don't step to her because they know who Jay is. It's like you gonna have to answer to Jay. So she was like, there's not that many. She was also like, there's not that many side niggas as much as there is side chicks because women will more or less disrespect the boundary more than men would. So yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, I
You
think
said women disrespect the boundary more than men do.
Yeah, like a
Say
woman
what?
will like
Hold on, say
try to
what?
throw themselves
the
because in
relationship.
there I talk about how some of the women throw themselves as Steph and like wouldn't give a damn if Aisha was standing there or not. There's like some women will uh shoot their shot, as you would say, at Steph before like a man would shoot their shot at Aisha.
Oh yeah, yeah, he right about that. A lot of women be disrespecting the shit out of each other. They be stepping on each other's toes like a mug.
Because I think that's because they outnumber us 10-1. So some of them gonna go and get the fighting. And some women have dumb logic. I think I was watching. What was it? It was a clip. I think it was it the Tyra Banks show. And one chick was like, "Oh yeah, I like married men because it shows that he's committed. And lower
Social, yeah, and it shows social proof too. They be thinking about that too.
yeah and
Shows that he's worth something. If another woman wants, he must have something that's special about him. If other women want him,
yeah. And Tyra put her in a place like, but if he's cheating on his wife, you don't think he's gonna cheat on you? Like, or you think he's gonna leave his wife?
yeah,
You
people
know
forget
who's
about
perfect
that.
for this example? Kevin motherfucking Hart.
What about Kevin motherfucking Hart?
Kevin Hart is perfect for the example you just showed.
Mm-hmm.
Because his
Yeah,
current wife is
Kevin
the
Hart.
one that he cheated on his ex-wife with, and then she got cheated on.
Yeah, people be forgetting about that because if someone leaves their spouse for someone else, what make you think they're not going to leave you for someone else?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I
Yeah.
don't think I don't think people be thinking when they be dealing with
A
romance.
lot of people have a thing of it can. Some people have a superiority complex for no reason. I'm
Mhm.
too good for that to happen to me. I'm I'm too good for this. I'm too overly confident.
It's not a good type of confidence too.
Yeah.
Because if you're
Not really.
confident, you're gonna back it up with like if you know yourself and you're confident, you're not gonna put yourself in situations that will compromise that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And some people just and sometimes it's just coming in. People come at vulnerable times in relationships.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
All
That's
right. Shout outs to Turner in the chat room. She also thinks it's 50-50 sometimes, but shout out to Turner in the chat room. Thanks for watching. Also, we're gonna change the topic. Has anyone one of y'all seen the Met Gala outfits? And what did y'all think about the Met Gala outfits?
Uh, I don't understand fashion.
I'll go first because like I've seen a lot of them thanks to our niece Kayla because she's been retweeting them nonstop. But so yeah, the Met Gala outfits. I mean, I saw some that was like really good, and I also saw some that was like what the fuck, and I also saw some that was like what is this? Like it's not even a dress. Like what is this? Like I saw Katy Perry's ass. She wore like a whole chandelier with lights working and everything, and I'm like, yeah, that was Katy Perry,
Oh
and I'm
shit!
like, bruh, I'm so ashamed. I used to have a crush on you back in like 2011 because you fell off. Like you're done to me. You're dead to me. But
Ever since she went blonde, she fell off.
yeah, but it's like the Met Gala is always gonna have themes and shit. And like let's be honest, like the LGBT run the Met Gala. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that the gays don't run the Met Gala. They fucking my boy, my man's Billy Porter. I love Billy Porter because he just wear whatever the fuck he want, and I think that's some G shit. Like he came in with he did like a little Egyptian theme, and he had buff ass dudes carrying him in too. I was like, that's a real ass nigga. Billy Porter, a real ass nigga. That's one of those '90s gays that's gonna fuck you up. But yeah, but like the one thing. Okay, so the one thing about the Met Gala that kind of bothered me. Well, it wasn't even the Met Gala. It was the reactions of some of the outfits on the Met Gala. I saw a tweet where they was showing some dudes, they was wearing some pretty feminine stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe a little dress with like a little flare and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, this looks nice. But this undesirable gets on Twitter and she says, oh my God, look at this. We're canceling toxic masculinity. And I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with toxic masculinity?
I know Odell
Like,
Beckham had on a kilt, and people were still calling him gay, so he had a skirt on.
I mean, that's just ignorance. I don't think that has anything to do with toxic masculinity. They're just ignorant about a kilt.
Beckham has done some questionable things. So, but
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
continue.
I mean, yeah, he's done some questionable things, but I'm just gonna leave that in the hands of the Lord. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I saw that tweet, and there was a whole bunch of people agreeing. It's like, like these are men, and I'm like, I've said this before. I hate it when females do that. Do not sit there and try to police what masculinity is supposed to look like, because you're not a man. It's just that simple. I'm not gonna go up to a female and be like, oh my God, those high heels and make you more of a woman. That's not in my place. I'm not a woman. I can't tell a woman what makes her more feminine than that. That's a literal contradiction. So the fact that we got these low ass girls commenting about, oh, this makes you a man, this doesn't make you a man. Who the fuck is you? First of all, you're undesirable that probably can't get no man in the first place, and a gay man probably gonna steal your man anyway. That's why you so happy when you see someone wearing that type of shit. So I'm just saying, leave masculinity for the men and leave femininity for the women. If a man want to dress in a feminine way, that's cool. More power to him. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Undesirables are gonna talk about it anyway because they undesirables, and that's what they're gonna do. But if a woman wants to be a dyke and wear a whole bunch of masculine shit, that's cool too. That's cool too. But nigga, we're not gonna sit there and police what is this and what is that just because you feel some type of way, or just because you're trying to dethrone toxic masculinity or whatever the fuck y'all want to blame men about nowadays.
I'm looking at some of the outfits, and I'm liking this one wore by Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
That junk though, and this junk worn by is that Zendaya? She kind of look like Cinderella a little bit, but it's dope. Who is this? Whoa! Is it that she is literally wearing a chandelier? I thought, oh my
Yeah, that's Katy Perry.
that's Katy Perry.
oh what? Wow!
And to make it even worse, she changed it into a fucking she changed it to a like cheeseburger costume too.
This
Wow.
one saying is Lady Gaga.
Huh?
This one saying is Lady Gaga in the thing. Mm, mm.
I mean, she's tamed down a lot since her early days when she was wearing meat fucking costumes and shit. So at this point, I'll take what I can get. She looked good, like Lady Gaga's an attractive woman to me at least, but she's toned down a lot of her craziness.
I did
So
see one tweet of what Cardi B had on, and somebody was like, "I sneeze." It's definitely by a chick. It's like I sneeze, my period, because her dress was all up. I was like, "Wow, these people." Mm.
I think some of them, and I've been saying this for a minute. And well, one, I've always said Met Gala. It confirms that I will never understand high fashion,
Me either.
but I said a lot of them look like Pokemon. Um, a lot of a lot of people were slicing up Cardi B's outfit.
That big
She
red
looked like a
joint?
velvet rug.
That big red joint?
Huh?
That big red joint?
Yeah, she looked like a damn velvet rug.
Mm.
What? Like it's weird because some people do look nice. I thought Jennifer Lopez looked nice. Billy Porter, I get it. It
Who's
weirds
this?
me out, but I get it.
Cardi B
But
look like if Poison Ivy could create life.
Mm. But
She's like a big plant.
Janelle Monae.
Janelle Monáe.
Janelle Monáe. There we go. Thank you.
I wasn't feeling that one.
I
wasn't
I
feeling
like it and I don't at the same time. It's just I don't
it's
know.
art, but I just didn't. I wasn't feeling it.
No, she definitely looked like a Pokemon. She looked like Mr. Mimes. What's that joke?
Mr.
No,
Mime.
she looked like
No,
no, she looked like Oblina from I Real Monsters. That's what she fucking looked like. The
Some of
lips
these
and
joints.
everything. I just thought she was Oblina for I Real
and
Monsters.
somebody said my girl Selena Williams looked like an omelet.
Some of these joints look goofy as shit. Oh goodness.
I don't understand fashion because Kayla and Xavier were losing their minds.
Yeah, some of the shit do look. I see some of these dudes in this stuff too. It's my first time seeing the guys in this stuff.
And some of them was getting offended that some dudes just wore a suit and tie, and I'm like, why? It's simple. You don't like. I mean, yeah, I can understand you're supposed to go all out, but what if someone doesn't want to go all out?
There's nothing wrong with a suit and tie. It's fucking formal.
As a matter of fact, a lot of people pull off the
Lindsay
suit.
Lohan
I think
Lindsay Lohan shaded the Kayla's Met Gala look on Instagram.
I think Rihanna's yellow and gold joint look kind of interesting.
You said who, Rihanna?
Yeah.
What?
Rihanna used to carry the Met Gala, but she wasn't there this year.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
It's an old joint.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now Rihanna, she used to carry the Met Gala. She was always like popping at the Met Gala, but this year I'm gonna agree with Wallace. The LGBT kind of like ran that shit. I didn't even know who Harry Styles was.
I'm just looking at
So
this fucking IKEA chandelier, John. This John I'm just looking at it for the first time. I'm like, yo, that thing look wild. And whoever put that together with the screws and bolts, yo, more power to him.
Yeah, I like this blazer that 21 Savage got on.
Kim Kardashian's flesh color joint. Her flesh anyway, kind of brown.
That shit look plastic.
She got a tan.
Fucking Nicki Minaj looked like she had like a.
Y'all see Kim Kardashian? Y'all see Kim Kardashian's joint?
Yeah, I saw her and Kanye. I saw both of them.
Yeah. What?
Who's the chick with the wagon?
What wagon?
I don't remember. I saw him, but I didn't go into it.
Yeah, the Jones that Jameson sent me. It's a girl. She got a wagon with like bottles of fucking liquor and shit.
Nah, and your boy Travis Scott looked like he fresh out of the front line on Star Wars.
Look like
There was one dude. I don't know if it was Nick Jonas, but one dude he was wearing all white, and someone said he looked like a slave owner. So
It is.
they was like him up on Twitter. He said,
"Who was that black dude?"
One dude said he looked like he owes me 40 acres and a mule.
That's fucked up.
Your boy Travis Scott looked like he just got finished.
Not right now.
Let me get over there. I gotta go to the Met Gala. You gonna change clothes? Nope. Keep this on.
Yo, Frank Ocean looked mad regular going up there.
Oh yeah, that's because he said a long time ago he's not into fashion, so he just wear shit.
Yo, this joint that T'Challa got look like something off of Hellsing.
Does he have to look like a security officer though?
He does. He look. Come on, keep it moving. You can't stand here. Come on, keep it moving.
This joint T'Challa got like something from Hellsing.
He wore that all white. He looked like a slave owner. That's what it was.
No, it was Nicholas. It was Nick Jonas. I just seen it.
Oh, Nick Jonas had the all white too, but the ones I saw, it was about Benedict Cumberbatch, which is weird to say his name.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Shit, I didn't know Alicia Keys was there. She looked like an elegant street rat from Aladdin.
What happened?
I said Alicia Keys. I didn't know Alicia Keys was there. She looked like an elegant street rat from Aladdin.
Elegant street rat. That's
Like
a hell of 2 words to put together.
Ray, you should be a professional commentator for the Met Gala. I promise you're gonna get kicked out in 5 seconds.
I thought Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx
elegant street rat.
I thought Katie
Yo,
Holmes and Jamie Foxx not together.
every time I look at her shit.
Mm.
Oh yeah, can we talk about how Tiffany Haddish was serving fried chicken on the goddamn?
That's about to bring that up. We need to talk about that because
talk about what?
Talk about what? What happened?
So Tiffany Haddish, her coon ass thought it would be a good idea to bring fried chicken from her purse and serve it to people.
Hey, why she gotta be a coon? That is the blackest.
Hey, that's coon
thing
behavior.
ever.
That's coon behavior.
That's cool.
No, that's the blackest thing ever. You
That's
going
coon behavior.
Nah, man.
No,
Because
that's not coon behavior. Coon behavior.
Her whole personality, she do the same thing she be doing in movies. She always got to be some ratchet chick, man.
She did it very.
If it was a black thing, she'll do it in the presence of other black people. She did it in the presence of everybody.
Yeah, you don't do that
behavior.
Y'all look like we can go, when people pull out the shit at the movie theater, there ain't gonna be a white person back there. Somebody. Matter of fact, I brought my friends from Moves and Eyes. She said this shit going in her purse. We went to go see Avengers. And there's some white people on the both sides. She pulled out the whole tray, a bottle of wine, and her cheesecake. Black people don't give a fuck.
Nigga, that's right.
That's different. That's at the movie theater, but she doing that shit in front of TVs and
Who gives a
cameras
fuck?
and shit.
Who gives a fuck?
That's ratchet as fuck. And obviously, you're not paying like $20 for a hot dog.
Yeah, I do the same thing in movie theaters. I'll go to a Chinese carry out and give me some beef and broccoli.
She said it was she said they had white people food.
Yeah,
I don't even know why you brought that up. That doesn't negate the fact that was still coon behavior.
I don't think
that was. I think she was doing too much trying to get a laugh.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe she just didn't give a fuck.
And I thought she was cool when she came out with a little go-go song, but damn.
We want to just all for one thing. That's what we doing now, Antoine.
Tiffany Haddish kind of like she borderlines. She like tiptoes on that line of cooning though. It's not.
What is cooning? Define cooning. Because usually we call people cooning is usually when they kissing white people ass.
She's done kiss white people ass.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she
tried to. I think she tried to be the. She always try to be the. She always try to be the black person around white people.
Maybe she just don't want to. She just want to keep her identity because you know how some people get when they start hanging around white people.
If you go to her, the laugh out, the comedy Jones, her sketches, her comedy, she was always like that. She always been like that,
which is fine. But see, here's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
In public, and when you just, because that to me, that's like shucking and jiving to me, because we have stereotypes, and our stereotypes is different because of the shit we've been through in this country. So when it's a stereotype against us, to kind of put that into a caricature or whatever, or however you pronounce it, and do that where everybody can see you on top of the shit that's already stacked on us, that's cool, because you're not taking into account the image that you're putting on us as a race. You know what I'm saying? I know Tiffany Haddish is her own person. I know she does shit that's gonna be Tiffany.
Well, what happened to being unapologetic black?
The point I'm making is that when you in public, just keep it like, how can I say? Keep it respectful. That's all I ask.
Define respect, though.
It's just like how
because everything, my time in the military showed me one thing. Everybody interpret different things as respect. Yeah, I know most black people growing up in here, we have to say what or huh. Some people is what or huh to your parents. That was immediately disrespectful. But the white people and some of the Hispanic people I met, they said what all the time, and it used to irritate me. And now what I'm asking is, we always saying setting these rules, but who set these rules and who determined what is happening?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If there was a butler for a white family, in this day and age, right? And that black butler willingly, by his own choice, calls like the patriarch of the family master, how would you feel?
Random people just be putting their business out
there. I don't know. I probably wouldn't
How
hear.
would you feel if a butler called people he worked for master?
Like a black butler who serves a white family in this day and age, and the black butler willingly calls the white dad and the white mom master. How would you feel about
That probably feel a little weird. That
that?
sound a little
Exactly.
weird.
Exactly.
But they do that though, or you used to anyway.
Mhm.
I know
But
it's
I'm
like that.
Master Blue.
but I'm saying because of our history, there's
Yeah.
just certain shit that's gonna just appear
Yeah.
foolish.
Yeah, but I'm
Yes.
trying to figure. Man, she just did something that we know a lot of people do. She just did it somewhere else. Is it because of past things you did? Because like Antoine said, she did some things that would, kind
You know
of
what she called
would
that
race her.
outfit though?
She's
On
done
that
some
thing, you know what she called that outfit?
what?
She called it Pepperella.
You said pepper up?
Like she came here, Pepperella. She
Oh,
came in like a character. So I don't think she like came there as Tiffany Haddish. I think she came there as a character. And then the fact that she was serving chicken, it just kind of felt
She was
weird and
eating it.
huh?
Was she serving it to people or eating it?
she was serving
She
it.
was serving it.
If she was serving it, okay, I understand that. No, I thought she just had chicken and she was eating it, not serving
No,
it.
Yeah, she
I
was giving it out.
didn't hear that part. You didn't give me that part. Now I understand where you're coming from.
part actually.
I didn't. You just said she pulled out chicken. You say she was serving it. Her serving it and with the name Pimorella, okay, that's
Well, we
cool.
never said she ate it either. You're going that way.
Yeah, true. That is true. I'm just saying I didn't get that tidbit. So now I understand where you're coming from. I thought you were saying she just did something that was unapologetic black. That wasn't. I got you. I understand you now.
Oh, if it was unapologetically black, I know.
Yeah. Shoot. I wouldn't have the problem if she like kept it to herself or some shit like that. Because I know they probably got the like that white people food with no seasoning and the shit.
Was she serving to white people or just to black people?
Oh yeah, she served
She
it
was
to a
serving it to white people. Served it to a white woman.
Was she going around like, like here's some chicken on my purse, or was she just sitting next to somebody like, yo, I got some chicken, you want some chicken type shit?
She literally gave someone to like chicken. She like and she looked like she was excuse me, serving it to people. It's like there's a video out of it. It's her doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of black people who saw it had the same reaction as me.
Yeah, that was kind of yeah.
That's a little wild. Okay, I give you that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that we off of the Met Gala, has anyone seen like the Breakfast Club interview with Thierry Marie?
No.
No.
Or am I the only
No.
one that saw it?
Yeah, it sounds like you are. I didn't see that either.
I don't know. I kind of find that one very interesting because I know last week I talked about 50, but I ain't really talk about Thierry Marie, and it kind of like remind me of like how most stubborn people are because it was just like you knew you owed this man $30,000 and you're talking about how she don't got it, and she's like and she finds it funny that like she owes him money and all that other stuff, and like she like had a warrant out for arrest, and they asked her if she would do it all over again, and like Charlamagne was tallying up shit that like her going to the lawyer and all that other stuff being sued. It's like everything she had to put out, the lawyer fees she lost and all that other stuff, and like it tallied up to a lot of money, and I was thinking like how stubborn can you be? And then it's just um like that stubbornness is going to kill you. I was just wondering like have y'all noticed anybody that had them similar traits to that?
All right, so what's the story again? Because I didn't see the interview. So what's the background to
All
you?
right,
Who was this shit?
you remember Tia Marie had that sex tape of her giving head to her man?
Nah.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah, I
it.
heard about that. Yeah.
Okay, she sued 50 because 50 I think posted it on
Oh
his
yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah.
She tried to sue him, But since her dumbass met with her boyfriend and they tried to talk it out and all that other stuff, she lost that case. So she has to pay 50. And the whole time she's like refusing not to pay 50, talking about she ain't got it and all that other stuff. But they kind of asked her like if you would do this all over again, would you? She was like, yeah. And I was like, the
She would.
stubbornness on this chick.
She did that. She did that. I wouldn't change a thing that people do.
Yeah, right, right. She did
Yeah.
that. I wouldn't change anything. So I was like, if anybody saw that, it was like, what was y'all thought about that?
That's all right. So, hey, Ray, remember Ken and how he refused to take that L when you gave him that wooden L at first?
He gave somebody a wooden nail.
Yes, Ray bought somebody a wooden L because he refused to take his L when he got his ass whooped by video games. That is what this situation is. This is someone that won't take that L and is trying to, like make it a funny thing. So you can take away from the fact that she just took a L. It's like just take your L. Just take your L. Is that
Yeah. What would you call that? Lack of humility or something?
I mean, yeah, I would call it lack of humility, but I'd also call it just stupidity or just bitch assness. Because like if you know you've lost in a situation, you're not gonna wallow over it. You're just gonna accept your L and keep it moving. You're gonna learn your lesson. You're gonna accept your L, and then the lessons that you learn from that, you're gonna apply it next time you're in a similar situation.
Yeah, people be trying to act like their losses be wins and shit.
Yeah, it's like she's taking it to a level where it doesn't need to go. Like you lost the
Right.
case. You like if you're not gonna pay the man, if you're not gonna pay 50 Cent the money after you lost the case, you are vulnerable to any type of slander he decides to give you because you lost. You didn't have to lose, but you lost. That's it.
We lost our host.
Yeah, well, like, well, how was Raymond at? He ain't say nothing. He ain't respond.
Did he
No.
get like disconnected? If you probably got disconnected, but
Yeah.
There
um,
you
oh, he's back.
Yeah.
All right, I've really got to get a new battery for this damn computer. Uh, by the way, I did hear what you said, and I totally agree with you. I feel like instead of like lingering around and like he's made money. The funny thing about it, he's made money off of her not being able to pay and all that other stuff. And she like done some stupid things like go to a check cashing place. So a lot of people thought she was about to give her his money, but she told it then that was supposed to be a joke. I heard joking and still saying I ain't got it. But there's like stuff like this could like really hurt your career. Well, her career has always been dwindled, but like you don't want no more L's on your record, especially something that you could have probably like paid off already.
Just yeah, it's like now you just prolonging the situation, and the more you prolong it, the more he's winning. Like 50 Cent is like the petty master. Like you're not going out petty 50 Cent. I don't even know why she even tried.
And that's what the funny thing is. That's what Charlamagne and Envy was telling her too. It's like, is this the like? They didn't say this, but they was like telling her, "Is this the hill you want to die on?" Because you know how 50 Cent gets about his money, and like 50, everybody knows 50 has never really took an L in his career. So, do you really want to like you want to put this hill you want to die on?
Yeah, like
Okay, so
just look at the many names he's taken down. Like his ex-wife, Floyd Mayweather, Ja Rule. Like he's taking them all down. Do you really want to challenge 50 Cent?
Hey, who was the guy that he took out who was a manager and owed him money and he gave him that money like in 2 days or some shit? Y'all heard about that too?
I
Mm-mm.
forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about. He kept calling him Fluffy.
Yeah, and then he wound up giving his money because he said he was afraid of him or some shit.
Well, that white guy owed 50 money too, and
Yeah,
like he wasn't paying up either. So like 50 was like he was like really about, oh no, you about to give me my money. And so the guy, he's made money off of him too. He's made like he sold t-shirts and people bought that, and he made money off of him too. So yeah, it was like even like on white people, because we were saying this last week. It's like because people thought like him going at these black women is like being misogynist and all that other stuff. It was like, nah, he done this to everybody, and that white guy was just another victim of people like fucking with 50 Cent's money and all that other stuff. So we're gonna move on to probably like the last topic. Um, what was Father? What was it about? You see something that Adrian Bailon put? Is she was like sometimes you have to choose love over logic or something like that?
Hold on, let me pull it up again because this shit actually baffled my motherfucking mind. I could not believe she's
Oh, the chick. It was the Latina chick from 3LW, wasn't it?
yeah, and the Latina chick.
Adrian Bailon.
Yeah. So she says, and I quote, "Do you know how much was wrong with him? Had I gone off logic, I would never be happy as I am today."
Mm,
And I'm like,
I don't. I feel like there's more there to it, but it just sounds like a dumb statement.
I mean, even if there was more to it, that's still a dumb statement to make. Because number one, you know, like, first of all, the person that you with, the person that you love, is not going to compromise your feelings. And if they do compromise your feelings, like I've been saying for the longest time, your ass better have a motherfucking consequence for that motherfucker. Because y'all be letting shit go,
Right?
and then when you let shit go, it
It's
creates a
over.
precedent for him to do it again because
Yeah,
you're so damn forgiving.
yeah.
So in that case, her mindset isn't based off logic in the first place if she's not adhering to that. But then again, most people don't do that in the first place. So it's like she's speaking in a place of ignorance that it's ignorance that everyone does, but like when you say it, it sounds dumb as hell. But everyone kind of does it. It's
Mm.
like one of those. So when she said this, and like I didn't even bother reading the article because that sentence alone just no. So it was like the audacity for you to say something so idiotic and then try to like paint it in a narrative that, oh, but everything's fine now, I love him, there's a lot wrong with him, but everything's fine. Nah, you're a fool. And you're basically saying I'd rather be a fool in love than free and make doing my own shit because I have logic and I have principles. Do you? I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But bitch, you're dumb.
Hmm.
It's the same girl that says she don't wash her hands when she's home too. So I don't expect a
Yeah,
lot from her.
yeah.
Oh no.
Well, that was my like question. I was like, is love over logic a thing?
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. People make decisions that they know is wrong because they're in love all the time. They
Yeah.
forget they forget they standards. They take shit from people that they wouldn't take from people who they weren't in love with.
Hmm.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Ray Ashanti made a song about it. It's called Foolish.
What love got to do with
And the
got to
funny
do
thing
with?
is, like, a lot of people done it. A lot of
A
people do it.
lot.
A lot,
Right.
a lot, a lot. It's like normal, actually.
Especially married couples.
Hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In my relationships, I was like, I've like done things to like make sure like you and my girl was good. And sometimes I feel like I've thought logically in that relationship, and she thought with her heart. And I feel like like to this day, like we've had arguments about that. I think Tony, you obviously know about it because like we've had that conversation. It's like I didn't want us to get in where I didn't want us to get in trouble, but she kind of like want people to know that we were dating, even though fraternization was a thing. So
We are in the same.
I've had to go through that.
We are in the same work center.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
exactly. But it's like it's times where I was like I would keep it low key, and sometimes like when she sees me, I like treat her like a work employee, not like a girlfriend boyfriend. And there's times where she didn't like that. So we've had arguments over that, but I was wondering like anybody else has gone through it with in that situation.
So that last thing again you said.
I would say has anybody else gone through has gone through a similar situation like that?
Hmm.
As what? With uses arguments?
No, just when she's thinking
Uh,
instead of logic,
Hmm.
or like she's, like you're put in a position where you're thinking logically, but she's not.
Oh yeah, I think that's common with especially when you man in a relationship. You think you coming from an issue from a completely different point, but your girl, she coming at it from an emotional standpoint, which kinds of a lot of times make you feel like the asshole, make you feel like an asshole in the situation.
Yeah, it sometimes go there. You gotta think about it. Money comes involved with that man too, cause like when I first met my wife, she was single. She had 2 kids prior, so she used to being by herself. And now that we together, we got a bigger family. Her money management skills is bad. Like I'll be like, yo, we did all we gotta do. We paying our bills. Let's save some money for blah blah blah. And she like, no, don't worry about it. Blah 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 blah. And then it turns out that I being a dick and wind up doing it because I'm thinking of the long term. She thinking of the short term. She don't do that shit now. But I mean, that definitely do come in play because you'll think about. Sometimes you don't think about the responsibilities you need to do rather than the things you want to do.
Yeah,
Need over want.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, like, I always tell women, like, it's not that your emotions is bad or nothing. You just sometimes it's just that's not how you deal with things. Like,
it's a
there's
time and a
just certain
place.
things. Yeah, there's certain things you can't really deal with emotion. Like, if you want to, like, for example, like if you think your man's being unfaithful, you being emotional is not gonna make him not be you. It's not gonna make you feel better about him being unfaithful or not. Because it's just a hitch in your stomach. But if you go about it logically,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. If you connect the dots, then you probably get a more favorable answer whether he's doing it or not. But if you try to tell that to a woman, she's probably gonna try and beat your ass. So most of us just stay quiet.
Yeah, she gonna start huffing and puffing and stumping her feet and shit. You do shit
Yeah.
with something like that.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, like don't get me wrong, emotional intelligence is important. It's just it can't be applied to everything. That's
Yeah.
literally it.
Said
all
everything.
right. Well, unless anybody else has some like topics they want to talk about, probably gonna start with the last word. Anybody else got a topic?
Hmm.
Do y'all
Hmm.
watch Game of Thrones?
I
No,
don't.
No, not really.
I haven't seen
I wish I
one
did.
episode.
Get the fuck out of here! Oh man,
I'm getting tired of people in the Game of Thrones. Cause
that shit is
I
good
heard it's
as
getting good
hell,
too.
man.
no, it's not that it's
I've
The
been
good.
crazy
It's
meaning.
just that
the
it's
crazy
just
thing
that.
about it is like that they found that little coffee cup that was on the table, on one
Oh
of
yeah,
the
you did mention
scenes.
that. I seen that.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
who
it's a
gave
mi-
that.
and it's $1 million to make one episode.
I don't know.
So
I don't know if it's whoever was working on production or who did the editing, because definitely could have been edited out. Or maybe it was left there on purpose. Let's so people can.
I've been meaning to get back into it because I stopped after season one, and one season not very long. But
yeah, see, it don't really start picking up to season 3 and 4 when all the shit stopping. But it get the the later in the series, the more stuff happens.
But no, my problem is like I got my one of my older brother for some reason he loves comparing. Oh, it's better than Power, and I'm like, they're two different types of genres. So how are we comparing these shows?
one fantasy and one is like a
I mean, they
realistic
both.
base.
Mm,
I wouldn't compare the two. Now I'll tell you
no,
which one I would. I tell you which one I would rather watch, but I ain't gonna compare them like that.
Yeah,
That's
mm,
like
that's two
comparing.
different. That's two
yeah, you
different
gotta,
genres. I agree with that too, because I
That's
yeah,
like
mean
you
it's
gotta,
two different things.
that's like
you gotta.
comparing Grand Theft Auto with one of those narrative Telltale games. You really shouldn't compare the two.
People do that all the time. Then I
They're
heard
like
some
two
people saying
completely
that
different
big
things.
battle, some big battle happened in Game of Thrones, and they say that, and some people saying that battle was better than the Avengers battle.
Now that's just people being dumb.
No, no, no. If you see it, I guarantee you would say the same thing. And the crazy thing about it, they got one more big battle. They only
Did you
got
see
I think they
Endgame?
only got 2 more episodes coming up now because this is a short season. This is the final season. The next season, I mean the next episode this Sunday is supposed to be bigger than the last battle. And I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was like yo, it. I mean, I'm telling you, the episode was
Did you
so
see
crazy,
Endgame? I'm sorry,
huh?
but did you see Endgame?
Better than Endgame.
That's what they're talking about. The
You see it.
battle better than the Endgame final battle.
Yeah, no, cause reason I say reason I'm gonna say that because reason I'm gonna say that because like it's like you looking at all them seasons of Game of Thrones and you know all the characters and everything's happening and it is a build up to that. Now in the Marvel Zone, you know it's a 3 hour movie. It's just different. I can't compare it to it's different
But
now. It was
No,
sighted as fuck with the hose.
uh,
I don't know if y'all didn't see it, but the hose, you know, the hose in the sky was real big. But you understand the characters, certain characters dying a certain way. They had like they had brought all the characters, mostly that was in all the series, and half of them died in battle.
it sound like a little bit bigger stakes, but with the Marvel movies was one big series lead up to the Endgame events as well, though.
21
Yeah,
movies.
true. That's why I said yes or no to it.
Yeah, that was a big lead up too, but less people died. Spoiler alert: less people died. From what it sounded like you described in Endgame than who died in Game of Thrones. Because in Endgame, there's only like two people who actually stayed dead.
It's,
Yeah, but the Game of Thrones is that everything was unexpected. Like how it was
Mhm.
at the end of the episode, nobody would never guess that how it was going to the battle was going to end.
Hmm.
I mean, that's fair. But the reason why I say this people being dumb is because I literally see no point in comparing two battles. Like,
yeah.
if they're both great, then that's it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And like they're both different narratives and there's different plot points and like it's just two completely different lores in the first place. So how could you like I can understand if one's more intense than the other. Okay, that's fine, but that doesn't necessarily make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I said yes or no to it.
Hmm.
That's why I say yes or no to it.
I mean, I kind of when I saw the big battle for Endgame, I compared it. I first compared it to the Infinity War's big battle that they had. Then I compared it to the Lord of the Rings big battle where they were outnumbered. Then Gandalf showed up, and I don't remember nothing else from the Lord of the Rings. I need to watch the movies again. I tried to make it. I was young.
I
fell
want to
asleep.
I want to get the uncut version of Lord of the Rings, but I know it's gonna
Oh,
be long.
God, no.
It's gonna be long as hell. But I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be
That
ready.
just gonna be that thing gonna be a half a day. You gonna,
That's
you be
on,
looking at
that's
that
on
thing
my
gonna be a half a day.
I'm
that's
gonna
on
get
my
my
bucket
my
list
frappe
movies to watch.
latte cappuccino.
Wildin'. Wildin', Clarence. You know what?
That's
People
on
need
my that's on my
oh,
bucket list movie to watch. That and Star Wars.
somebody was
I got a
telling me
controversial opinion.
on what?
Star Wars.
Which one?
What's your opinion?
My opinion is I like the prequel series more than I like the last the last two movies that came out.
Oh, so
What?
you like the Anakin Skywalker saga?
Yeah,
Hayden Solo?
yeah, the Darth Maul joint. Yeah, done with
But then
Darth
it,
Maul and
but ain't it because Disney bought it, so they kind of make it like a kid friendly type of way a little bit.
No,
Now, I don't think it's kid friendly.
it's just I personally don't think I think the problem is a sequel to the original movies. And Star Wars fans, like most fans, it's been 30 some years between the movies, so people are spectating what they want. People are confusing stuff they read in the books, and some of the books that they read are no longer canon. And people come up with their own things, like if they were to write it, and now somebody else has written it, and they don't like it. And one of my problems with narratives nowadays is people don't want to see their heroes with flaws. Like
Yeah,
your hero,
oh, yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big thing today. Like they got all these Mary Sues and Gary Sues out here who barely got any flaws at all. They have no like personality growth. Like that's one thing I like about a lot of the Marvel heroes. They got a lot of personality growth. They go through a lot of
one
different
thing
flaws.
I liked about episode 8 was showing that Luke, Luke had a slight lapse in judgment that caused a lot.
Hmm.
And people were upset about that. My problem with Star Wars fans in episode 7 and 8 is when 7 came out, J.J. Abraham and other Star Wars fans mimicked the first one to a certain point, and then the like 30 minutes into the movie, it kind of went its own way. But people say, "Oh, it was too much like the original." It's too much like the original. They didn't really come out with nothing different. Then Ryan, I think his name was Ryan Johnson. I can't remember the director for 8 right now, but Ryan Johnson, I believe it was. He came out with 8. It's still Star Wars, but not in the traditional sense. But he broke the mode, and people were mad about it and called it a mess. It was garbage. And I'm like, that's not fair. He's trying to break modes to create new things. And now what I'm scared with episode 9 is that JJ Abraham is one of the people who didn't like 8. And I feel like from the trailers I saw, he's already gonna retcon some of the stuff from the first one. And I'm just like, why? People don't like change in anything.
No, they don't.
So, but Clarence, why don't you like the new ones? My
Well,
problem, my problem with
well,
the prequels,
one,
they're
the
corny.
the lightsaber battles ain't nearly as epic.
Mm,
It's a little boring. And they didn't have good character build up for Ray.
you sure?
No, yeah, they didn't have a good character build up for Ray. She just kind of like has these powers all of a sudden. She didn't do any training.
You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. I'm gonna
I
tell
think
you.
I did. But go
No,
ahead. Tell me why.
the reason. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's been, like I said, one of my problems. People also don't pay attention to dialogue. They stated in episode 8 that the force is there's a force that goes through everybody. There's like a neutral force. Then there's an active force. Right before they killed Snoke, he said, "Well, he told Kylo Ren, as you grew stronger in the dark side, your opposite grew stronger in the light side, and that's the active force. Did that to keep balance, and that's why Ray is. And then on that planet with Luke, he was training her to a point where he was like, "No, I've seen this raw power before. I didn't know what to do the first time." Speaking of Kylo Ren, then he said, "Nope, your training is done." If you go back and watch the movie, he did that. People said there's no. That's one of my problems with some of these people. They keep saying she ain't had no training. She ain't had this. Episode
She had no
7.
training. She had no training up until that point. But before she was doing all the battling, she even beat Kylo Ren to a degree, and he had all kinds of training, and she didn't have any yet, and she beat him.
His training was partial. He was also injured in that fight, and he actually was fighting 2 people, and he beat one of them. And then only on that, remember, she was a survivor. She was a scrapper. We know a lot of people that can fight that have no martial arts training, no UFC training, right? She was a scrapper. You watched the way she fought. She was fighting like we knew she knew how to use that staff. And you watched the way she was using that lifesaver. She was kind of moving it like a staff. It just didn't look like it because it's a sword.
I don't know. You fight young Obi-Wan Kenobi as a rookie, and you're gonna lose. That goes back to like the old masters. How they depicted the old masters was a lot better than these new battles.
But he also had some more formal training.
He had academy training.
Remember, he said Kylo Ren didn't complete his training. We don't know how, at that point. You don't know how much training Kylo Ren had. Could have been just 25%, 50%, and he was injured. That blaster that he got hit with by Chewbacca, remember, it was blasting stormtroopers 50 feet in the air, and the most he did to him was put him to a knee. And he was probably using most of his energy focused on trying to stand up when he was fighting him. Because remember, he kept hitting his side. You know, there's a fight science, and I don't think people understand that. Like, oh, these movies are good, and I think some people pulling out some of the stuff they're saying is, I don't think people paying attention.
How it sounded, it was describing it in the movie. It sounded like like battle combat and force skills was just uploaded into her from previous generations.
And that could be the force. You can also
that's kind of like a weak excuse not to have good character build up to me.
But I don't know. I think she had about the same amount of character build up as the original Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker barely had any skills when he first started.
Mm-hmm.
He had a little bit, but not as much as she started off with. She started off with knowing how to do everything, even if she never even did it before. Like she never piloted a aircraft before, but she jumped in and just knew how to do it. She's been on that little planet. She's been on that little desert. She's been in for a minute.
Ended up the pod races.
Say that again.
Anakin Skywalker did up the pod races. Humans are normally not good at pod racing, but he was.
He was a prodigy.
People keep pulling out things that they did in other Star Wars already. Anakin didn't have no background. He was better than most people.
Anakin had played with the pods. That's what he did. That was like you think he fixed them and he played with them.
But you still got to remember, they say most humans can't even survive driving in those forests. No human's been that good until him, and that's because of the Force. But when he got in that battleship and started shooting around, he didn't know what he was doing, but he somehow did. Everything people complain about Rey has been in other Star Wars movies.
I don't know. I gotta watch them again.
Hey, I got.
Go ahead.
Hey, I got two. I got 2 points. I don't know if we got time. The points is y'all heard about that new Larson guy said something racist and Big E confronted him on Twitter.
Oh
little big guy.
Lars Sullivan. Yeah.
It did that thing in the ratings in WWE. The ratings in WWE, and then this is Jones for Raymond. I don't know, Raymond. Did you see that that gala, not the gala jump, but the go-go thing that happened on 14th and U that brought like probably like 6,000 people down 14th and U when Backyard played it.
Yeah, they called it Bocello.
Yeah.
It started as a joke, but then it became a real thing.
Oh, I knew that thing was going to turn into real. It showed. I just wish it didn't have to take gentrification to do that, though. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I see what.
But you,
Yeah, I
but
see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
yeah, because I've been saying Go-Go's been dead for like a good 10 years. So
Thing
I
is,
really, like, I'm glad this has happened. But at the same time, I really wish it didn't take them threatening them gentrifying DC for us to happen, and like white people complaining about the noise at the T-Mobile store and all the other. I really wish we do this often, and like, 'cause especially like I felt like ever since, let's say ever since, people been wearing like polos and Versace's and all the other shit, like things been in DC, like our clothes have been dying off, and like we had our own style and shit, and like I feel like that died off. So like shit like this, like I said, I'm glad it's happened, but I like gentrification. But go ahead.
But a lot of stuff stopped because back in I'm 38 years old. You had the Unifest, you had Georgia Avenue Day, you had all these different days where go-go bands were played, and a lot of that stuff is stopped. They don't have it no more. Now they have like some type of farmers market day instead of having them type of days. So a lot of that stuff they stopped,
Yeah, I know the
which
cops like stopped most of that shit.
yeah, because
So that shit kind of,
Unifest. Because Unifest, all that stuff, you hear the go-go bands, you start hearing the music out on the street. You have the people that was selling their own unique clothes. They had their vendors and all that stuff. So now they just stopped everything. But to see all them people down 14th and U, that massive ass crowd jamming to three go-go bands like that with no fights, no shooting, it made me proud to be a black man.
it was a fight. Trust me, it was uh Clarence cousin caught it on picture, but not on camera. But he caught off. It was like one little fight though. But other than that, you was right.
Yeah,
So
I saw.
go ahead.
Nah, it was like trending on Twitter and everything. Like it was like people was really tuning in on that, and like I saw the live stream of it too. There was like live streaming it, on YouTube, and I caught a little bit of it, and I was like, wow, this actually looks great. And it was funny because I saw it on the little window, like one of the white people looking out, and I'm like, man, they're looking pretty uncomfortable over there. And I actually heard that one of them tried to call the cops because when the ATVs and the motorcycles was coming out, that was they was like, yo, can you like have them chill out? And the cops was like, we literally can't do anything. So they was like, damn, even the cops are not even gonna stop this, like, because they know, DC's always been a place of culture. Like DC's always been a place where black culture has really like thrived, and we made our own shit, and like it has its own like heart and soul. So for like so gentrification, while it is a thing, I don't feel like it's going um get real far, because like the heart and soul is always going to fight back just automatically.
But another crazy thing about it, it wasn't all black people out there too. It was a lot of white people. It was a lot of different people, different races jamming out there. They was showing this white girl and she was getting it in, beating her feet. It just made you.
oh
I
god,
mean, born and raised in DC made me proud to see that shit for real.
a white
Well,
person beating
nothing
their
wrong
feet.
with
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna have to see
well,
that.
white people beating their feet.
Yeah.
She was probably river dancing. I don't know.
No, man, because a lot of the schools in DC, what's them schools? It's not public schools. It's
Charter schools.
Private school.
charter schools. They got white people in there. They got white people in there
Oh
that
yeah,
they
I know.
be at them schools and they be listening to go go and shit. So a lot of people still be beating their feet and shit.
Well, yeah, I know a
Like,
couple people like in charter schools that listen to Go Go.
yeah. So I mean, it made me proud.
Okay.
But another thing was that the Larson thing and the WWE race, because I literally feel like I just go on YouTube and look at the top 10 on SmackDown and Raw because it's like the ratings are so damn. And then about the Big E and the lost and racist thing and how they making him a big character. I don't know about the Twitter thing of what he said.
I know he said one. I know he said, and I posted this yesterday. I know he said that rape has a gray area.
He said what again?
He said rape has a gray area. There's a gray area when it comes to rape.
I think I know what he mean, but do you know exactly what he meant when he said that?
No, because that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Well, what I was trying to say earlier, what I think he was trying to say is like that women want aggressiveness, right?
Yeah.
And I think he was saying like, okay, I can be aggressive, but how much aggressive can it be before it's considered rape? I think what he was trying to
That's
say.
why you're supposed to have a safe word.
Yeah, and
Pineapple.
also, yeah, there's a safe word, and also it's consensual. So if she wants you to be aggressive, she's gonna say the safe word regardless. If it's
That's
too
why I
aggressive,
thought it was,
No, the safe word is when you want them to stop. That's what the safe word for.
Yeah, but
Oh,
also, I mean, I'm just gonna speak on my experience. I've been told that I've been either too aggressive. Well, been told too aggressive because
I've been
women
told that too, actually.
too aggressive. I don't like you like
that's
that. But they didn't get that hand. Or I've been told that I'm submissive because now I'm trying to be respectful because of those past experience of, oh, you're not my boyfriend, but you act like you want me to eat your ass right now. But I don't know.
These
Women,
things are not always that clear.
yeah, and I think that's what he was trying to say, but the way he
but what's
described it,
I
but
think
what's
he
the
was.
racist stuff he said though?
I don't know. I ain't seen
uh,
it.
I think.
Well,
Big
I
E
know
said
about it, but I ain't
Big
seen
E
it.
said Big E said he said some racist 2 years ago that was
2 years ago.
real wrong. I think I just seen it today though. That's why I thought y'all probably knew something about that shit.
Mm-mm.
I, I'm assuming is what he said about black people needing to get over like not slavery but like racism, and he says that racism is like not really a thing anymore. I think that's what he's referring to.
I
Because
don't
I
Oh
think,
yeah.
Are people still saying that in 2019?
yeah,
yes,
a lot of
yes.
Yeah,
black people. Um,
I ain't got nothing to say on that. 'Cause
I don't know all the stuff I see. All the stuff I seen them say about Lord Sullivan is been from a bodybuilding post with no pictures, so you can't really show if it's him. But I'm like, 8 years ago. Hopefully, he didn't change since then. But I'm all about.
Okay, I found it. I found it.
Mm,
I just
Okay,
found
for
it too.
March
But go ahead, Ray.
for March 15th, 2012. If we're going off scientific facts, obviously whether Hispanic or black woman who pops out the most babies at the youngest age. Hispanics followed by blacks, while 50% of blacks women have STD, sleuths. I think it meant sluts, but sleuths. There's
sleuths.
another
Oh,
one.
that's a slang term for sluts.
Yeah.
I use that sometimes.
Uh,
Sleut.
from July 3rd, 2012. I don't actually have any hateful feelings for gay people, but it's just a part of my sense of humor I like to explore. Homophobia, racism, sexism, these are hilarious things to make light of in the right environment, among other straight men. Another one, that
yeah.
sounds like a brave gay guy you work with in a weird way. You will actually have no reservation about telling his straight coworkers how he has sex with other men. I'm sorry, but that's where I would draw the line, make him feel like a worthless outcast of society. Another one, what are Kofi and R2 supposed to be? A PG Black Panther stable? I've always wondered why they had them team up with two black guys. Both of these guys look like they could be in a prison black gang.
What?
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
What?
I'm,
Wow.
I think that's what
where,
Big E was talking about that one. I think Big E was talking about that one. He
Can
just
you say
posted that.
that one more time?
what's
Damn.
what are Kofi and R2 supposed to be? Question mark. A PG Black Panther stable? Question mark. I've always wondered why they had to team up two black guys. Both of these guys look like they could be in a prison black gang.
Wow.
Yikes!
I don't know
Wow.
who
How
I
old
don't
is
know who
that?
you're talking about. So
No,
Kofi and
because our truth and what's the name before they got together. They paired our truth and what's the name together, and he was his manager at first, but it was for a short while.
oh, I know who you're talking
I
about.
remember.
Road Dogg.
Xavier Woods?
He paired up with Road Dogg.
The dude with the dude with the plaits, the dude from New Day,
Kofi.
Xavier Woods. Oh, Kofi.
Kofi.
not Kofi, the dude with the trumpet.
Oh, that's
Xavier
his name.
Woods. I said his name
Yeah,
about three
him and
are
what's the
true.
name was together. Yeah, our truth was together. It was for a short while though.
Hmm.
It was.
I don't
Oh,
remember
here's
that.
another one.
I actually dead ass don't
Yeah,
remember that.
I remember that. That's like how Xavier Woods got into it before he turned to a jobber.
Yes,
They
yes.
teamed him up with
Xavier was one of the
our
first
truth.
people that lost to Rusev. It was known when Rusev got to the main roster. I
Yeah. Here's another one. Not to be racist, but it seems like white people are more willing to take responsibility of their own lives than blacks and Hispanics, who are all for government handouts.
What? Oh
Does he not
man,
know that black people kind of built the country?
you know
literally.
how they always say black people and Hispanic people don't want to do nothing when your whole ancestors enslaved another race.
wait, but don't white people get the most handouts though?
Yeah.
White people on
Just
welfare more
based
than
off
black
just based off of their numbers alone. They get food stamps. They get just as much. They get more food. More of them take food stamps than we do. Well, that's because there's more of them, but still, they take food stamps and all that shit too.
people. White people are on welfare more than black people, so don't let them fool you on it. They need that shit just as much as any other race does. Not just black people, but especially white people, because some of them are out unemployed. That's why most of them
Mad. That's why they mad.
alt there's like they're talking about people taking their jobs and shit, because most of them people had to be on food stamps and all that other shit.
They
Yo,
took their
they
jobs.
took our jobs.
The government.
They took our jobs.
I just, you just remind me of a video. I think I shared it to the chat. I got it was a Swiss guy, and he said he got a book. I think Dying of Whiteness. And
What?
it was
What you should say? Say that again.
the book. He made a book called Dying of Whiteness,
Dying of whiteness. Jesus Christ.
but
What's that about?
about how a bunch of white people in the country are going for these laws that are hurting them. Gun control, anti-immigration.
Well, gun control can hurt everybody. If the state decide they want to go against the people, ain't nobody gonna be armed, therefore leaving us powerless. That's already happening in
Hold
what
on,
was that?
hold on, but no, he's talking about being against gun the being against gun laws, the immigration, and a bunch of other laws that these people don't realize that they're doing that's hurting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a little on the fence about the gun thing because there's different things about it, and people always say if the government decides that bro, I'm tell you right now, me, Ray, and Antoine Park can tell you, unless you got a strong little militia, even your little militia, unless your militia is across the country, you're not taking out the government. The United States has the biggest military force in the world.
biggest gang in the country.
The world. Our navy is bigger than the next 8 navies combined. Combined.
You could damn near fit the whole British Navy on a fucking carrier.
You said the whole British
On one
Navy.
carrier. You could fit. I'm not bullshitting you. You could fit the whole entire British Navy on a. You could almost fit the entire British Navy on one fucking carrier.
They say like I think I watched a video. It say if we pull all our troops back from across the world, all of them, and we have all our troops here in the United States, across all 50 states. I mean, just protecting the United States alone, we could take over they couldn't get through. No other government is getting through. Our Air Force is bigger than the next 7 combined. And people was like, our military is weak. No, our military is like top dog. That's why some people like, do we need to still spend on it? Yeah, we do. But also, these laws that a lot of these poor white people or middle class white people fight are also hurting veterans. Now, the same so-called handouts they're giving are the ones also giving the vets to help them out of homelessness. And now, like, so one of my best friends, he's former Army and he needs help doing something, and it's getting harder for to do it because they defunding things and they or counseling things because they like too many people are being greedy or taking advantage of it.
They don't like paying taxes. That's what it is. They don't like the taxes. Those
So,
taxes help people like that.
so when I got out, I was out by definition, by the legal definition, I was homeless because I was at my aunt's house. I was considered technically homeless at the time due to the fact she could decide to put me out any time. And that was about 4 years ago, 2015. But now, if you got somewhere to stay, if you got somewhere, you have to be immediately homeless for them to help you out because they don't have the same amount of vouchers that they have anymore. They used to give out vouchers like candy almost, they say. But now that Trump has attacked anything with Obama's name on it or what his so-called group wants, they don't realize that they hurting the same people that they so-called care about. And half of them probably wouldn't care about the military once they realize how many minorities are in it.
Man, I think
There's a
it's
lot of black
fake.
people in the military.
You
I
said
think
what?
There's a lot of black men and women in the military.
There's a lot of minorities together.
I think it's fake how everybody treat the veterans. It's always people always posting stuff and be happy with veterans, but when veterans actually need something, it's hard to find fucking help like crazy. You gotta think about like all these VA's hospitals. Like I went to the VA hospital. My wife got 70% disability, right? So I go up there and she in the emergency room. The fucking ceiling is falling apart. It's mold everywhere. It's
Which one
old
was
ass
that?
mouse traps, huh?
What one was this at?
The one in Washington D.C.
I've been in that emergency room. I've never seen that. I must have
You
missed it.
if you go in the back where you do it where they go see you at, you know when you go in the emergency room, it's the vending machine. When you go in the back is like that. And we was like, wow,
I
like
ain't seen that.
the
I've been in
bathroom was. We just my wife just been there. We was there last week Friday.
the one on Irving Street. That's the one
Yeah,
we talking about?
one by Children's Hospital.
Wow, I've been in it. I probably just ain't
And
been to the cinema.
and when I went in there, it's 3 elevators. One elevator worked.
Hey, what time did you go?
I went there in the morning.
Like
When I went in the morning was the elevators. When I went at night, it was Friday night, like at 12 o'clock. But it's like a lot of people will praise the veterans, but nobody's not actually doing nothing for the veterans because there's still a lot of homeless veterans out here. There's a lot of people that need help. I think it should be a lot of people should be doing more for the veterans rather than posting shit on Facebook and shit.
Or be mad talking about he's disrespecting veterans for kneeling.
Yeah, but don't want to do nothing. Or if you see a veteran on the street, you don't want to give them no money or support them. A lot of motherfuckers go to war. They're not right in their mind, man. And me and Jameson, we've been on the deployments before. We had the ups and downs with, with girls or dealing with a lot of white people shit that's doing stupid shit, a lot of racist shit, being out to sea a long ass time. That shit put a toll on you. That shit put a toll on you. That shit put a toll on you. You know how many strip clubs had to take Jameson to put a smile on his face? A lot.
All of it.
A lot. How many lap dance had to pay for? A lot. A lot.
Wait, nah.
Tell you what story.
I didn't know the story. I paid for my lap dance.
That has got to be one of the funniest stories I ever heard in my life.
Oh nah, James goes to the strip club. Oh, I got stories for that ass, man. We got stories for that ass. If y'all want
You
to
can't do
listen
that
to
on live. I'm
that
gonna do that on live.
that'd be another
On
podcast.
another day. On another
but nah. I don't know. It just they just hurting themselves. That's what he was talking about in that book. But in the video, some alt rioters or something. I can't remember what they were. They came in with a blowhorn. The blow up his. They were mad about something like they always are, and they his book signing. Yeah, y'all got all the time to protest stuff. Why y'all go find something else better to do? But I don't know. Yeah, the book is called "Dying of Whiteness." It was funny. White people just
Kind of whiteness. That's what. Okay. All right. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead. In this podcast, as usual, we're gonna have our last words, and we're gonna start with Clarence today.
great. What was his name? Wolf? What? Wolf? What
Shining
movie?
Wolf.
Shining Wolf.
Shining Wolf. Got a fresh coat. Get the dreads all done.
Actually, I don't really have much to add today. So
Okay. Tony, you got a last word?
No, I think I said everything I wanted to say. I mean, I think this time I didn't fall asleep when I was at home last broadcast and shit. Kind of stayed up. Um, I think that's it, man. I just hope that the ratings on SmackDown and Raw get a little better than what it is.
We need to let Triple H take over. I heard 12-5 is lit.
Yeah,
I mean,
205 is lit. Next is lit. SmackDown and Raw is fucking stupid.
nah,
They got all these people and nobody's not doing that. It's just like I see myself. I DVR all the time, so I'm seeing me just falling through a whole rack of stupid shit. And now they saying they trying to bring back they bringing back Goldberg. They're trying to talk to CM Punk, if so he won't go to the other
Wait.
wrestling show.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard about that. They trying to talking
yeah,
about
they bring it back, Brock. They bring it back Goldberg. They said bring it back Goldberg, and they're trying to contact CM Punk because the ratings are so low.
I actually did not hear about the CM Punk thing at all.
Yeah, it's online. Yeah, they trying to
I
they got
heard
Goldberg.
it
They
didn't.
got Goldberg coming back. They signed another contract with Brock Lesnar, and they say they trying to get a lot of people because the other wrestling thing they got Chris Jericho.
AEW.
Yeah, yeah, because they say that if CM Punk and a lot of people go over there, Banks, she's going over there. They took her off, so they trying to sign a lot of people on there before because the ratings are getting real low. Like Monday Night Raw last week was the lowest rating show ever.
It's gonna, the problem is like I think one of the reasons why NXT is doing so well is due to the fact we don't get saturated with the same people. They actually use different people, so they're not oversaturated. And when people do get on there, even if they're a jobber, they look strong, even in losing. Like Cassius Ohno, we all know you're a jobber, but he still punches people in life up.
Yeah, it's just getting bored. I might just switch
And
to the other wrestling just to get that feel of originality. I think that's my point in the go go jump support. I'm about to give me some go go CDs or whatever, do some support. But I mean, other than that, man, that's my final point on that.
okay, face like Ginger.
um, you people, hold on. I'm about to read the status for one of my friends wrote about this cherry thing. I think it's funny. It's real funny, and I think everybody need to do that. But at this point, about the Aisha thing, come back to me when I can find it.
Okay, Potter.
Um. Okay, I just want to give a shout out to my streamer friend Naya Renee. She's supposed to come here tomorrow to DC. Probably might link up with her when she does. And probably another thing I want to say is let's see. Yeah, nope, that's it. Just that shout out. And Sub Zero's a hoe.
Let's
All
go.
right,
So,
I found the status.
go ahead.
This he said, y'all need some sex. Y'all need more sex. Been mad for 2 days about opinions from people you don't plan on dating. In a marriage you're not in. Select advice and move on. Damn.
Well, damn.
Marriage is not like that. So
Marriage is not like
marriage
what?
is not like way it's not all just one straight line type thing,
Yeah.
you when like I said, like if my wife say, hey, somebody say you look good, it put a smile on her face, she not gonna risk it. It makes you feel like if a girl come to me, like I said, if a girl to come to me and say I'm happy, that put a smile on my face. Little small stuff like that, is is part of your individuality rather than your marriage too, because you do things yourself to make you happy, but stuff like that will make you smile. I don't see like you just choose your wife, that's it, be with your wife, don't look at nobody else, fucking and just fuck her, and that's it. Nah, it's not all like that, man. Because
People
I guarantee,
change.
because I
And
guarantee if I see a girl that look pretty and she got ass, I'm gonna look at her. I'm not gonna like, no, my wife. Nah, that's the fuck out
there's
of
some
Nah,
people
ain't
who
nobody
think,
doing
You
that.
in a relationship before?
here.
there's some people think once you in love or whatever that you shouldn't have eyes for nobody else. Cause
No,
that's
That's a damn lie.
I
that's a
know, I
lie.
know.
That's a lie. That ain't gonna work. Nah, fuck that. This is realistic, man. You
Hey,
if you see something, you gonna like it.
Yeah.
hey Antoine, your girl turned it so you need to turn your blinker off.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm in the car right by the right ticket and shit. My bad.
Yeah, but yeah, that's bullshit.
Okay. All right. First of all, as a fan of Japanese RPGs, I am so glad that I saw that Final Fantasy remake trailer. It made me happy. Now I really can't wait till June to like get more information out of it, so I
Yo,
can like play Final Fantasy 7 for like the umpteenth time and beat it in 3D. And
that drink gonna come out when we 40, son. how Square, how
I'm
Square
so
Enix be
tired of
doing
that
shit. We
meme.
we gonna be old as shit by the time that drink come out.
look, I don't care. Those people waited for Kingdom Hearts. I knew Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out first, but I know they've been working on this shit, so I just can't wait. I don't care how they do it. I just want it done. So I'm glad. I'm so glad that that's being said. So
Looks
another
good though.
thing, yeah, it looks very good. Eris looks beautiful. Like she looks beautiful.
They switched from was it, Cyber Connect. I think is that team that makes the Naruto series. They switched from them to who did they switch to? Was it Team Ninja or was it somebody else?
I don't know if it
Mm.
was Team Ninja. I have to look at that trailer again. I'm gonna look at it like Brandon looked at that Black Panther trailer. Like he looked at that thing like every day.
Because there was rumors that they scrapped everything and had to start it over, but I'm like, I don't think they scrapped everything. Because
Probably
no,
not.
people don't got time
People
to
don't
be
got time to be.
3D modeling again. That shit is annoying.
It is. It is. Yes, it is. Whew.
I'm
But
pretty sure some
then,
files was left over.
No, I
So
think they just come out putting it all together in the game.
I just hope they do my boo right. That's all. That's all I want to know about.
Who, Tifa?
Yeah, boy. They need to do my boo
I
I
just
right.
want,
think
it's like Orchard. You want to know what size breast she has. Might have big.
I just don't want them to turn her into a nun. That's all.
Nah, they're gonna do Tifa right. They
Cause,
have to do
cause,
Tifa.
cause the next show I want to talk. The next show actually I want to talk about Sony's new policy where there's
Okay,
where
we'll
there's
talk about that.
yeah where they censoring their in-house censoring games.
Word.
Oh yeah, yeah, in-house. So that means like the PlayStation version will be censored, but the Switch and Xbox and PC ones won't be. And I wanted to talk about that next time.
what's going to be censored?
The PlayStation versions of third party titles are gonna be censored.
Yeah, they're gonna censor their own
PC
stuff
the master race.
automatically. Huh?
I said PC the master race, baby. I need to get one.
Oh hell yeah. But Switch ain't censored either. Switch is getting their stuff raw. This is like the reverse of what happened in the 90s.
Except on Stage Builder, you can't be trans on the Stage Builder.
When they gonna
Oh,
start? When they gonna start censoring the games? Do you know when?
they already started.
Censoring.
They're starting as of now. Like
Oh, thank
you ever
God
heard,
I got. Thank God I got an Xbox.
you ever heard of Simran Kagura? You ever heard of Simran Kagura?
Yeah.
Yeah, the developer of that, he's in a pickle right now because he can't really release his games on PlayStation no more because his most of his content is fan service, like sexual fan service. But I mean, PlayStation not the only system that sells units. Like the Switch is like reaching above PlayStation 4 sales nowadays, so they could just
It
release
just
them on
passed
there.
Nintendo 64.
Hmm?
As far as console sales, just past Nintendo 64. So they're really like selling systems.
They're selling systems. So I mean, that's not no need to despair. You can release that shit on a Switch, Xbox, or Steam. And still making money. If anything, that just hurt place. But yeah, we talk about that next week. I got a lot to say about that shit.
All right. Thank you. Shout out to my girl Turner for coming into the chat. Thank you all for watching. And tune in next time. We'll have more topics to talk about. Tune in. This is You Know What? Let me say podcast, and I'm out.
And I
Peace.
am, I am, man.
All right, shining out.
Sub Zero's a hoe.